but they think that 10 slides means a time, a limited time. But this doesn't make any sense. You should ask maximum 10 minutes, maximum 20 minutes, maximum 40 minutes, but you shouldn't tell to the speakers how many slides, the maximum number of slides, because that cutting their creativity. The speaker can talk for 40 minutes with 2 pictures, with 2 slides only, or in 5 minutes showing 20 different slides. That depends on the flow of the speech, on the story that they're going to tell. So this is another thing that should stop happening.
Hey everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the World of Presentations podcast, brought to you by us at Presentation Agency 356 Labs. Not that many of you will know, but we're recording this intro for a second time. There was a technical glitch. And today, by the way, this is episode 111, 3 ones here. And today, together with me, we have another guest from our industry, another presentation expert who is based in my favorite city, my favorite country on this planet, which is called Italy, baby. Italy. His name is Davide, and let me be very careful. Let me be extremely mindful with the family name here, because I want to be precise. Luzzati.
Luzzati.
Crap. All right, the next time. I tried my best. Who is obviously based in Italy. He runs a presentation consulting company there, does a lot of work with Prezi, both builds presentations for its customers and his customers with Prezi, but also trains them in the world of Prezi. And obviously Prezi Video, one of the Prezi's latest tech. Davide, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Boris, for giving me the opportunity to be here. It's really nice to have this conversation with you today, this podcast. I have to say, before everything else, I have to congratulate all of you of 356 Labs about the Present to Succeed event. I have participated in last April, and it was really great. It was wonderful. It seemed to me I was in my family, because this is my job, and hearing all these speakers from all over the world talking about all the things, all the issues I am working on daily, it was fantastic, a great experience, and I understand a lot of job behind. It must have been really hard. So I really want to say thank you and congratulate myself with you, Boris, with Eva, and with all the people behind that worked so hard to make it become a great event. I watched all the recordings and they were really great. So thank you for the opportunity, Boris.
Thank you so much for the kind words. And yet again, thank you so much for accepting this invite.
Thank you, Boris. Yes, today we're here to talk a little bit about this world of presentations and about a couple of, how do they say, challenges in English, right? That all people involved in presentations, and I'm not talking about teachers or experts, I'm talking about all those people that put their hands on a presentation, all the challenges that they're facing, like in a company, when they ask you to stick. Well, I jump into the subject already. When they ask you to stick to the template, right? They tell you this is our structured template, corporate template, and you have to stick to that. Okay. I believe this is a kind of a problem nowadays because let's see. I think we arrived to this situation from the letterhead. I mean, before digital, we were used to write letters, so the company had its own letterhead, and you take the letter and you start writing the letter also on the computer. And then they transferred this way of doing into presentations. So it's about the same thing. The template has some parts, some graphical parts, which are always the same in every single slide. It's exactly like writing a a company letter. And this is why we got there. Why this is challenging? Because when you work on a presentation, you actually shouldn't start from the computer, from the template, from the digital part of it, but we all should start from a blank piece of paper, as we know, in analogic. And in analogic means your ideas that you put in paper, you build the presentation scratch. You have to design with your hand the presentation with a pencil, and then it's there that you understand the main topics, the subtopics, so all the flow of your presentation.
Yep.
This is how you should start. We all know that. Okay,
Yeah.
so we don't have to start with the computer. If you have a corporate template, you may think, okay, let's open the corporate template and start from there. Spaces are those, and you have to put your things, your contents in those spaces. So your creativity is a bit cut there, and you don't have your imagination is stuck to those areas, to those spaces.
Yep.
Instead, we should find a new way of having, okay, if the company is telling us, yes, we need a template, because of course I understand we have a corporate identity, we have the brand, the colors, the font type, and we have to stick to that. And that's understandable indeed. So a solution here could be building a corporate template with different types of slides. So not only one slide exactly the same for all our presentation, but we may build a slide for a picture that goes all the way throughout our 16 by 9 space, because sometimes we know it's a nice feeling to have such picture, right, Boris?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
but maybe the template could have some little parts of graphic of the company. So with the colors, a little stripes, something that reminds us we are in this ambience, we are in this company, let's say. Another type of a page of slide could be for our needs when we have to put those points. I don't want to say bullet points because we know we ran out of bullet points, but those informations that have to be listed, and we know that we can do a much better work than bullet points, but sometimes we have still to list some information with some illustrations, etc. And the corporate template can have one kind of that page, and so on. We may have a corporate template with several types of different pages, which we use whenever we need this kind of graphic setting or the other one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me interrupt you here very quickly. Don't you think
Sure.
that this problem exists mainly because most organizations out there have a template, but this template is also very limited in its capabilities, because normally what we end up seeing, at least with the customers that we work with, is that they have a template, or at least they think that they have a template. They call it a template because that's more or less how it is being called internally, but inside it's actually not what they have, is not something that's helping them communicate their message in a better way, without them being designers, right? It is something that unfortunately for most people, most of the times, is actually preventing them to do that, which is
Yeah.
very, very strange, which more or less tells
Yes.
you and shows you that the template is not done well, right?
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, I try to run out of a template, as much as I can, because the template is limiting you. And sometimes, as you said, the companies are used to the template, but those companies never tried something alternative, something completely new. I'm talking about presentations of the same company done in different ways. This is not something impossible. You still can put your colors, your transfer your corporate identity, even if you use different kind of presentations. So the point is really considering new possibilities, like the logo in each single slide. As you know, this is something that many of us, many experts like we are trying to run a little bit away from that, because
Mhm.
repeating this logo in each single slide is actually a piece of graphic that is taking away your attention from the main content. You don't have to tell your name and first name and last name all the time when you talk. And this is a similar thing. So what I suggest on the logo, because we understand the logo is important and must be there somehow, you can put the logo, of course, at start, and you can put the logo in all those main pages. Let's say we talk about 3 topics. Each topic has a cover. We put the logo on the cover, and then when we go into the details of that topic, we don't need to repeat the logo all the time. I use Prezi, as you said, and Prezi is built with a home page. You put on the canvas your homepage, and there you have all the topics. When you finish one topic, you go back to the homepage and you see the corporate logo, the corporate colors, and whatever you want to show. So indeed, we have to. It's a delicate issue, the one of the corporate template, what we are talking about today, because companies don't want to run away from that, but at the same time they should try something different. Also,
Absolutely.
not to bother people listening to you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree that people, and at least individuals inside of organizations, at least should experiment with other tools so that they know what's on the market. PowerPoint is just one thing, Google Slides is just one thing. There are other alternatives, Pitch,
Sure.
Canva, Prezi, the Prezi video technology, obviously a new thing there. Not a new thing anymore, but still. And I would say that the lessons learned from the first part here is that, hey, if your template is not helping you build better slides faster, this means that your template is not done well. And you need to address
Oh, definitely.
the PR person or the marketing person who is responsible for that. I think that you need to reach out to those people and just let them know, hey, maybe in 6 months or in 1 year, when you're doing another exercise with a branding agency or whatever, please talk with them about our template. It's not helping us. It's
Exactly, exactly.
preventing us to build
As
something faster.
Absolutely, as always, we have to see our goal. What's our goal? Our goal is to attract people,
Yeah.
is
Correct.
to have people listening and watching us, engaged and happy to hear and happy to participate. So this is our goal. If to reach our goal, we have to do something different, like the template. Let's do it. Let's get rid of that old stuff and do something new. Try something new, because that's very important. Let's invest some time on that.
Yeah.
And this is a very important issue, what we're talking about. I wanted to throw in another situation, Boris, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Let's go ahead.
Sometimes I hear this when people organize events where some speakers are involved, like Present to Succeed.
Yep.
Several speakers are involved. Sometimes the organizer is telling to the speakers, to the people that will be talking, uh, maximum 10 slides, maximum 15 slides, and this
I
is
think
so funny.
Yeah, I will interrupt you here. I don't think that this is happening only at conferences and events. I would say that this is happening a lot in the world of corporate in first place.
Yes, in
A
corporate,
lot.
yeah. I'm talking about corporate events mainly, because they think that, and I'm going to go in detail on this, but they think that 10 slides means a time, a limited time. But
Yep.
this doesn't make any sense. You should ask maximum 10 minutes, maximum 20 minutes, maximum 40 minutes, but you shouldn't tell to the speakers how many slides, the maximum number of slides, because that cutting their creativity. The
Yep.
speaker can talk for 40 minutes with 2 pictures, with 2 slides only, or in 5 minutes showing 20 different slides. That depends on the flow of the speech, on the story that they're going to tell. So
Yep.
this is another thing that should stop happening, because maximum 10 slides, it really doesn't mean anything unless you want to cut creativity and cut also the spirit the speakers will have when they will be there, right?
Yeah, I think that this is something that everyone who is here on the podcast, who comes from the business world, and if you are a manager or a team lead or an even higher exec, we as presentation people understand why you're asking for that. But in order for you to, at the end of the day, get a presentation that communicates a message in a clear way, leave your people alone, allow them freedom, right?
Exactly.
Don't try to push them to put everything in 5, 7, or whatever amount of slides you think is the right number of slides. That's not.
Exactly.
Slides have limited space on them, and when I hear someone saying to me, hey, my manager made me do this in 10 slides, they're trying to, and I'm trying to cram in everything on top of them, right? I try to fit in, and that's pushing them to write so much
Exactly.
text inside, right? So leave them alone. And by the way, if you are the person who is delivering those presentations or preparing those slides, with all of the respect that you can have, talk with your manager. Tell them, hey, you want this presentation? I'll give you that presentation. But please allow me, right? Allow me to do it the way I see it. And if it's not okay, let's discuss it afterwards. But please don't tell me to fit in
Exactly.
a specific number of
It,
slides. Right?
exactly.
Just don't do that.
You threw in some other aspects of this. The first is that each slide shouldn't be too heavy, too
Yep.
full of content. We all
Yep.
know that, and that's a reason why we need more slides. Because if you tell me only 10 slides, I push things inside. That's
Yep.
a problem. And another issue that you mentioned is the relationship between the let's say the manager, the person that will go to the conference talking, and people building their presentation. This is another very delicate situation, because sometimes someone is building the presentation and someone else is going to use it, and so there must be a very strong link between these two people, and they have to work together. But this doesn't happen very, very often. Sometimes the manager is going to the big conference abroad, and I need this presentation, please prepare it for me, and then they don't see it until the last moment, and this is another complicated situation, isn't it?
Yeah, this one, I think it's, again, just every single time when I get asked to talk about that, I'm like, the first word you are going to hear from me is, if you're approaching presentations in this way and you are not collaborating already, and you dedicate time to collaborate with the person that's actually going to build the slides for you, it is your fault that at the end you get something that doesn't seem like the thing that you are asking or imagining. I mean,
Exactly.
I always love to say that presentations are so personal, right?
Yes.
They're not like a
Yes.
website, and in order for them to work, in order for someone to build a presentation for you, they need to know you so well,
Yes. Yes, indeed.
so well, and thus collaboration is mandatory. No matter who you are as executive, no matter how busy you are, plan ahead the time to communicate and to collaborate with this person that is your assistant in this way, or your
Yeah.
presentation dedicated presentation expert in a way. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That, that
Let's go with one more here very quickly, because we are very soon to hit
oh,
the
okay.
20
Too bad.
25 minutes.
Too bad.
What is the one thing that you would like? Our audience are business people. What would be
Mhm.
that one thing that you would ask business people to think about, or to learn, or to improve on, or to spend more time on, or
Ah,
just to kind of yeah, focus their attention on during, this is now the summer is upcoming, no one does anything almost during the summer, but if they decide to do something during the summer, what would be that one
easy.
thing that you advise them to work on?
That's the easy, easy. I'm glad I have the reply, the answer right away. Don't use the same presentation for any kind of situation. Okay,
Mhm.
there is a problem that we know. Uh, a company has one big presentation, very strong, with a lot of information in it, very detailed, and they use it for any kind of
Everything.
situation. So they use it as it's a slide doc, so lots of information. They send it over so someone can read it by themselves, and they use it in an event or during a sales mission, whatever. They use the very same presentation. So to go back to your question, if someone has some spare time, try to build a side presentation based on those on that presentation, which is so rich and full of information. Try to build another one for those situations when you are there presenting, when you are in presence, either online or live or in presence, when there's someone talking with the presentation. So you need another document. And this is a problem for many companies, because they are using the same presentation deck, the PDF, whatever they have, the PowerPoint, whatever they have. They think it's so rich, it's so complete, they use it in any kind of situation. But we well know that when there's someone talking, you don't need all those things. You need only a few nice picture illustrations that are following you on the speech, on the flow of your story.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot stress this enough. The things that we send over email are very different than the presentations that we use
Exactly.
when we present in live, in a live situation,
Absolutely.
or online. The latter are way more simple and way more visual, because the things that we're sending are actually, if we all think about them, they need to be self-sufficient. They
Yes,
need to
exactly.
work without the speaker. And when you're presenting live or on a Microsoft Teams call, there is a speaker. And this person
Exactly.
or these people are the most important people in and
Exactly.
during that presentation.
It,
Davide,
it, it, it's
thank you so much for spending those 20, now 4 minutes. It's actually more, but it's just the two of you that we know. Why is it more? Let's keep it secret. Let's keep it a secret. Thank you so much for joining. And last one here, where can people connect with you? What's the network that you use most for communicating with others? And where can people find more about what you are doing in your company?
Thank you, Boris. LinkedIn and Facebook, as well as
Okay,
my website, LUZZPRESENTS.com. In English too, not only
brilliant.
Italian.
Okay, so LinkedIn and Facebook, we are going to make sure that we link those up in the show notes, and your
and,
website will be there. So everyone
and,
who wants to connect with Davide, LinkedIn is the
and, the,
first place to read it.
and the
Yeah, go ahead.
YouTube channel as well. The YouTube
All
channel
right.
as well.
And then the YouTube channel. Okay, we'll link that one up too. Brilliant. All right. So everyone, we hope you enjoyed this 111th episode of the World of Presentations podcast. No matter where you find this episode, like, comment, leave us your thoughts, share it with friends, or if you're watching this on YouTube and you still haven't subscribed, do so. We publish a lot of very interesting discussions, content in general in the 356 Labs world. And of course, as you heard from Davide, if you still don't know what Present to Succeed is, well, that's a conference that's, I would say, a conference that you definitely need to know about if you're listening to this podcast. Next year, we're doing it here in Sofia, Bulgaria on the 28th of April. So tickets are already on sale. Join us for a hybrid event this time, not an online only, but a hybrid event. Davide, thank you so much for joining again. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Boris, for the opportunity, and bye bye to everybody. Ciao.
Yeah, brilliant.